Hey everyone, day 33, Pritch here. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning. I've been creating a video, dealing with resupply, packing that. I'm at the base area of Crater Lake. Gonna hitchhike to the top and hang out. I mean, this day is a little bit sideways and lost because I'm gonna stand by. My partner Paul has an injury. He's at urgent care now. He's got a leg injury. And I'm going to stand by to hear his decision as to whether he's going to continue. He might just take a couple of days off, and then I'll meet him at 100 miles ahead. There's another resupply point up there. He might get off trail, in which case, by the time I hear that, it might be a little bit later in the day, and I might hike. There is a lightning campground that I could probably hike to. I think it's 10 miles or so from the rim, and I'd head there and then plot for the next day. So it'd be a bit of a narrow. So yeah, it's too bad with Paul. Hope he has a positive outcome. And but this hike continues. See ya. Well, after a couple hours of logistics, I made it to the top of Crater Lake Rim Trail. It's gorgeous. Apparently it's the greatest water clarity in the world, according to one of the signs. This water is as much as 2,000 feet deep. It's remnants of a long dormant volcano. And I am hiking all along this rim. It's considered an alternative trail to the PCT. And depending upon how far I get in the next few hours, I might actually get out of the edge of the park and back onto the PCT. But I gotta get moving. It's after 2 o'clock, and I've hardly done any miles today. When I was younger, I loved heights, and I parachuted, hang glide, rock climbed, got my pilot's license, and now I'm deathly afraid of getting near that edge. It's a long fall down there, and I'm staying my distance. Well, this is the trail that you often see right on the edge of a cliff. You go up and up and up. Fantastic vistas if you're a photographer. And I glance and I look back down at the dirt and keep myself focused on not going over the edge. Yeah, no kidding. Thank you, rangers, for putting out unofficial water caches. Forest rangers, this is a very long section of dry terrain, and people couldn't make it through here. No hikers could make it through without your assistance, so mercy. Thank you. Thank you. Hey guys, day 33 is coming to an end. You can see I'm cooking dinner. I'm soaking a Mountain House meal. I'm at 1839 point something, back on the PCT. Today I was on the PCT alternate that goes close to the rim of Crater Lake. And I didn't actually, I hiked up, well, I got a hitchhike in the morning to the top of the rim, and then I hiked, I guess, about a dozen miles to where I'm at now. And I didn't start till 2 o'clock. I was waiting for news on my fellow hiker Paul, who was at an urgent care facility. He's got some problems with muscle in his shin, so they advise him to chill out for a couple of days. He's going to meet me ahead, I think about 85 miles ahead at Shelter Cove. So yeah, so I still haven't calculated how long it'll take me to get there, but it was a good day. Wiping the flies off my hands. There's so many darn flies. But, today was a great day. Pretty easy day. I was nervous near the rim. That stuff is scary. And one slip and you're right over in 2,000-foot fall into a 1,900-foot deep lake. But in any case, it was all good. Camping by myself here. I was very fortunate. As you come out of the park, the rangers have very kindly created water caches. So I hiked a bit down the road after I dropped my pack and was able to pick up some water. Otherwise, I'd have been hosed. And frankly, for the next 40 miles, that remains the case. Without ranger support, people would just not be able to hike here because there's just no water. So all good. And this day's coming to a close. I still haven't had dinner. That's behind me. I'm going to stuff myself with that and then lay down and rest and start it all again tomorrow morning. Talk to you soon. Good morning. It's day 34. Running a little late. Just broke camp. About to move on. It's very cold out here. It was in the 40s last night. I'm at 6,500 feet. Later today or tomorrow, I'll be going up over 7,000 again. I think the rim was at around 7,000. So it's just naturally cold up here. The benefit is during the day it's not hot, so that's all good. The next couple of days I have some interesting, well, I should say challenging water carries. There's very little natural water out here. The forest rangers are kind enough to establish some water caches. So I have to pay close attention to those and really camel up and calculate the distance between the next water cache. So I could end up with 4 liters, which is quite heavy, but better to have water than to dehydrate and perish. So starting late, I had a hard time getting out of bed. It was so dang cold, but heading out right now. Another good day on the trail. So lots of blowdowns on the trail this morning. There's no sign of fire on the trees, but so many trees are knocked over the trail and just in the woods. It's interesting. It slows you down a bit, but I guess it mixes things up. This is a big moth. I would say it's 3 inches wide or more, and the body has got to be 2 inches. And yeah, I don't know, it's hairy thing with big antennas. Very interesting. I'll leave it alone. Hey guys, it's 9:30. Sun's come up. It mercifully became warm. I was quite cold earlier. I've done about 9.5 miles, so I'll get 10 by 10. Water cache, and that was as documented in gut hooks. My next water source is about 8 miles. So I'm going to sit, eat some, have a snack, top off, and then head on to the next one. The last 10 miles are interesting because there were, as always, deer tracks all over the trail, but there what appeared to be mountain lion tracks following the deer. And one of the Sobo vlogs that I followed on YouTube, Jomber Journeys, they talked about this section being close to aggressive mountain lion activity. So hopefully they'll be as close as I get. I wouldn't mind seeing one from afar, but when you're by yourself and it was dusk, probably not exactly what I'd like to encounter. But it was interesting nevertheless. I'm going to take a break for a few minutes, water up, and then move on. So making decent time. The trail is pretty good. You know, it's just from the kindness of the Forest Service and strangers, no one would be, without that, no one would be able to hike through this area, because it's just tens of miles of just dry trail. This is Mount Thielsen, by the way. It's an ominous looking peak. On the other side, I actually thought there were trails going up it, but I wouldn't in a million years want to follow them. It doesn't get more dramatic than this. See snow up on the side of Mount Thielsen, and this is a beautiful stream. It's down here. I've just washed my clothes. You can see some of them drying. You can see my underwear fell to the ground. Lovely. And it continues that way. Very nice. Nice point on the trail up here. Guidebook only mentions Oregon, but this says both Oregon and Washington. So pretty high up. Temps are kind of reflected even in the sun. The sun is still strong, but it's tolerable, and you get in the shade, it's actually cool. So I'm probably gonna have another cold night, which is okay. I think I'd rather have a cold night than a hot one. And I'll just try and bundle up a bit more. Another 5 miles to go to the Meadow Lake Junction, where I get a 1.5 mile round trip down to the lake to get some water, and then I'm going to call it a day there. I could have gone further, but I think it's another 9 or 10 miles to the next water source, and it's already 3:30. I don't have that in me. Some people, especially young people, literally hike to 9 or 10 o'clock at night to get to that spot, and while I could do it, I wouldn't be in a good situation the next morning. So I'm going to avoid doing that, and I think I'll still get, I think, 27, 28, or 29 miles when I get there. Count it when I get there. Hey everyone, day 34 is coming to an end. It's about 7:15. Did about 28 plus a 1.5 miles down to Meadow Lake to get water. So it was a pretty long day. I feel pretty good. A little still filthy. I've eaten, but I haven't cleaned myself up, so I still have to clean off my blackened legs and sweaty torso. Some other hikers are here. Mecca, who I met at Mazama Village at Crater Lake. He got here a couple hours earlier than me, and went for a swim in this gorgeous lake at the bottom of the hill. It's a little too late. I was still rushing to get some food in me, so didn't have time for that. It's already getting cold out here, so but maybe another time. So I guess I'm about 40 miles out of Shelter Cove, where Paul is going to meet me. So hopefully his shin is on the mend, and hopefully I'll do another decent set amount of mileage tomorrow, and then have a sort of a Nero into Shelter Cove and get in there on Saturday. We'll see. So good night for now. I'll talk to you soon.